Hey YouTube, this is React City. I'm John.
I'm Rose.
I'm Nikki.
And this is the React Cast.
Hey.
And as you may have noticed, this is a new setup. We're trying things out a little bit differently. Last one was a bit stuffy, but how do you guys feel about it? Do you guys feel more comfortable or no?
I like it better.
It's more comfortable talking wise.
Yeah, I can see people.
Yeah, I can look at both of you at the same time.
Oh my god.
I don't have to crane my neck back.
It actually started to hurt my neck a couple times until the previous podcast. Like this little whiplash going back and forth. But yeah, just trying new things out. But as usual, we're going to start off with the fun fact to kind of get everyone into it. And the fun fact actually comes from Octavia Chante, who commented on To Your Eternity saying, the maker, creator's voice actor from To Your Eternity is the same as Nanny from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And by that, I mean JJK, which is Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at the initials. I'm like, that doesn't line up.
Bizarre Adventures. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
Nanny.
Conroy. There he is. That's Nanny.
Oh, hey.
Oh my gosh, he looks like an anime.
He kind of looks like him.
Yeah, I do notice that actually, like voice actors
Look like their characters.
look like their characters, and I think they might do that purposely so that they look more like their voice. Because I mean, people tend to look like their voice.
That's true.
Typically.
That's true.
I saw, not Vsauce, there's a British guy who does these kind of videos where he was talking about how likability, like he can just look at somebody and like them, and they've actually had studies where people who look like their name are more initially liked by everyone. Like if you don't look like your name, there's like a dislike that's kind of hovers in the air around that
Wow.
person. Like you can tell somebody is using their real name or not. So like if you're trying to use a fake name, usually you're supposed to use a fake name that you also look like.
Oh,
Kind of stuff like
okay.
that.
That brings up the question: what is the other fake name that you look like? I'm trying to think. What is my fake name that I look like? I have no idea what I look like.
Give us fake names in the comments.
David, Bob, Hubert.
Incredible.
Easy. But yeah, I wanted to move from there into talking about voice actors in general, because there's actually a bit of sad news in that Kevin Conroy passed away. So you may or may not have known him for him, but if you have heard Batman animated at any point in time, you probably heard him.
Oh.
He was the voice of Batman all the way back to the original Batman animated one.
Yeah.
That one.
I did notice that his voice was mad consistent for every single series I've ever watched.
Who would have thought?
Wow.
Passed away
Oh,
from cancer at 66.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
He has a Batman face.
Yes, he does.
That's why it fits.
He
Yes.
goes in the face.
Going to the face.
What's his name? Mark Hamill, the voice of the Joker also. He is famously quoted for saying that as long as Kevin Conroy continues to be Batman, he will always come back and be the Joker for him.
Aww.
So up until very recently, Multiverse is like a cross-genre game battle thing. He was voicing that. And I just think it's nice to go out on the thing that allows Batman to bridge into other universes, kind of like his legacy is secured that way with other characters.
Kevin Conroy, rest in peace.
And I was wondering, is there a voice actor that you know from anything that you not necessarily follow, but when you see them, you know them? Because I remember I don't remember what show it was, but you wrote down the name of a voice actor because you liked them. And you're like, I want to remember this person. Do you remember that?
I kind of remember that.
We reacted to something here like, I like that voice actor. And you wanted to start knowing the voices. I want to say it was after
I do
mistook someone for Beatrice.
vaguely remember that. I don't know who it was though.
I guarantee it's written down there somewhere.
In there.
Somewhere in there.
Oh wow.
There was a voice actor.
Maybe was it the one for the same voice that was voicing, who was he? Eren was voicing someone else, like, or someone who was voicing Deku was voicing someone else. Or there's some crossover with My Hero, I think, and Attack on Titan, I think.
Oof, 360.
Okay, I don't think it was Deku.
I know that. That's a biking, cycling anime.
Oh, I know the sport anime.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you would hate it. Okay, how do I explain this? Okay, so he moves to this town, and he really likes this anime, this princess anime. But the only way he can get to this to the store that has it has all of the merchandise and stuff, he has to bike like a super long way. So his parents get him a bike, but they also don't like that he's biking so far away. So they try to like, I don't know, like like soft force him not to go by like cranking up the cadence on his
making
bike.
it harder and harder.
It's super hard for him to go. So, but he's so determined. He just goes anyway, and he goes like every single day.
That's messed up.
Gosh.
But his parents don't know how to do it, so they just got it done at the bike shop, so they never know how to fix it. But he goes every day anyway, so he ends up becoming like this incredible cyclist, and he also bikes up a mountain, up a really tall mountain to his school every day as well. So that's, and so they find this out by him, I don't know, one of the top cyclists at their school ends up, I don't know, just disliking him for some reason, just from, you know, just as arrogant guys in animes just pick somebody to dislike. And he's like biking up the mountain casually and just passes him on his bike, passes number one cyclist guy on his bike, and then they have like a mini race start, and then he makes it up the mountain, and then the cyclist team see him and scout him, and then such is the rest of his story.
Like Hinata from Haikyuu.
Well, he didn't have a dream to be a cyclist.
Well, no, but I mean like the rivalry between him and the ace on the team.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah, it seems to be a common template for the sports animes, that kind of thing. Little giant syndrome.
Rising star.
Yeah.
Look up the voice for Eren. I think he's multiple people.
Let's see.
I didn't realize. I went on a different. I completely forgot about
I'm
this.
really interested in finding out this person.
Right,
is this the one? Ah, yes, it was him. It was My Hero.
Yeah.
There we go. Eren is Todoroki.
He's also Seven Deadly Sins. He's also.
Oh my gosh! Yes, he was the one.
Yeah, he's a.
That's Demon Slayer, the guy who's training with Boulder.
Yes.
And then there's also.
That's Speed of Sound Sonic.
Sonic Speed of Sound.
Oh, wow! A lot of voice.
Incredible.
Yeah, I remember we spoke about this. We said that the guy was very popular. The voice of Eren was very popular. Kaji, but I don't remember his name. Kaji Yuki. I don't remember writing it down.
But you know, I gotta say, I think it's Phoenix Wright over here. Yeah, he also did Phoenix Wright.
Wow.
A lot of people here.
Yeah, so voice acting in general, obviously you don't need to be seen for that, but I notice Asian voice actors are almost always supermodels. Like, I think it's like a byproduct. If you're gonna voice our character, you gotta be drop dead gorgeous. I don't have any information to corroborate that, but I believe it 100%.
There is kind of they do become fans of voice actors as much as they do like regular actors in
like
shows.
Idols.
Some of them do become like that type, I think.
It's so opposite in the West, isn't it?
Like nobody knows who voices any character from any show.
Some people do, but no. The reason I think that is not as important is we were just talking about what was his name? Mitchell Musso. He gets kicked off the Disney show and continues voicing Phineas and Ferb for what, another year, couple years still nobody cares. You know? So I feel like if like something like that happened with somebody, because there's so much more in the face of people, like sorry, you're not voicing any more of my characters.
Like, yeah, I guess it's because I don't know, I feel like they've got the business side of things on lock in the entertainment industry in places like Japan or South Korea. You are the product if you are working with any of these characters. Like even the animators, like they may not be known, but once you become known in the animating world, you become a star in of itself.
Yeah.
Like it's like there's levels to it, and once you break through, you're here. Yeah. And now you're just known by everybody.
Yeah.
You know? Like there's a couple of voice actors in the West, but usually it's for infamy. Kind of like in sports. I was talking with my dad about this the other day. If you're an umpire in baseball, the person who calls the calls, if they know who you are, it's probably a bad thing.
Oh no!
It's probably a really bad thing. Probably a terrible umpire. Something like that. Same for referees in most sports.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like that for voice actors as well. Whereas, don't get me wrong, it's not nearly hated as the umpires. And then you've got people like Tara Strong. She's probably the only good in that lane where she's oh yeah, it's Tara Strong. She's a really good voice actor. But you don't really hear about people and know voice actors for being good. It's usually, yeah, this guy, he's everywhere. Every deep gravelly voice character is this guy. It's the same inflection.
Yeah.
It's the same across everything. People dislike it. But over in the East, no, it's like not only are they versatile, they're beloved. You know, it's interesting.
Go ahead.
I feel like if you're in the voice acting scene, then there are people, then you open like the little hatch to the door and see the borrowers inside, you know?
Yeah.
It's like a different world in there.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like if you know voice actors, it's like people who I know who know voice actors suddenly like points at like that's that person who voices like as anybody who knows the person who voices Timmy Turner.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
They end up knowing like everybody, but I don't know her. I just hear about her every now and again. I'm like, Timmy Turner.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Tara
Yeah.
Strong. But,
Yeah.
Oh, that's her?
That's
okay,
her.
exactly. My point.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's kind of on the same lines as you. There are people who do like get into the world of voice actors, and I wonder if it's like maybe a spillover from being connected to voice actors in the East. Like getting to know them, you start to wonder who voices this character that I really like. Because I remember the only time I ever learned who the name, like a voice actor in my years ago, was who voiced Candace.
Oh.
Because I remember her from High School Musical. I'm like, where did she ever go? And then it's the blonde girl from High School Musical.
Ashley Tisdale.
Tisdale.
Wow.
Yeah, that she just disappeared into Candace, and I don't know what happened.
Disappeared.
Yeah, she just became Candace, and then she never did anything else. At least I never saw her do anything else. Because she was acting before that, and then Phineas and Ferb went big, and I remember because Candace was kind of like a iconic voice, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't remember how I found out that it was her, and then I just started like, oh, what are the other voices in that show?
I think they had like a special in between ad breaks one time where they showed the voice actors doing their thing, because that's when I also learned that it was Mitchell Musso doing Jeremy.
I think that was
and it
right.
was Allison Stoner doing what's her name? Isabella.
Yeah, I was gonna call her Lily. Yeah, so
And that's also where I learned that Ferb was that guy from Nanny McPhee. The little kid, the main character kid from Nanny McPhee. He's Ferb.
I don't recall that movie at all.
Are you kidding? I love that.
Really?
That was the first show as a kid that I remember actually loving.
As a kid.
Nanny McPhee was the one with all the bumps on her face because the kids were bad.
And then as she
got more beautiful the nicer they got.
I can remember her, but I don't remember watching that movie. Like, I know that movie existed. I could have sworn we never watched that movie.
No, we watched it.
It was so.
It was a good movie. I will
it.
say it never stuck in my head as much as maybe for you because you were younger. That's probably too like Matilda is to me. Matilda is like.
Oh, I love Matilda.
Yeah.
I've seen that several times though. Like, we watched Matilda a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe we watched Nanny McPhee. once
No,
or
we
twice.
watched. What do you mean, which Matilda? There is only one that I would
Matilda.
ever acknowledge.
There was. Can you tell me which one it is? Because there, I was from
the
a different
original
time.
Mitilda.
Okay, probably not then, because I remember
Honey.
the live action one.
But it was already it was always my live action.
There was a cartoon.
What?
It was rare though. We didn't see it often, but it was there.
Wait, like a series?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, she was like living with the nuns. Right?
What?
I just questioned myself.
All I remember from the animated series was her bow. That was the only thing that I realized, like, oh, the bow
That's
is an
Matilda.
iconic thing.
Right.
That and yeah.
Now we have to know. I have a vague remembering of this happening. Oh, it's
Madeline.
No, that's Madeline.
Oh,
That's
okay.
not Matilda.
Madeline had the nuns.
Yes,
She was like a
Madeline.
terror.
That's an old one.
Yeah, this is Matilda.
That's Matilda.
Yeah, that's the Matilda that I remember.
Yeah.
From I think it's 2000 or
Yeah.
90s or something.
Is that Joe Pesci?
Is it Joe Pesci?
I don't think so.
That's good show. Good show. But what were we talking about?
We're talking. Well,
What was it?
I was saying maybe we didn't remember the Nanny McPhee because we only saw it like once.
Yeah, but we got off on a tangent
Right,
there.
because I was like,
Because we were
from Nanny McPhee. What's Nanny McPhee?
Right. We were talking about voice acting, and I was just saying, I think there's like you're saying, you peep into that door, you become a knower of voice actors.
Yeah.
But unless I really don't think the West focuses that much on them.
No.
You have to look for them. You don't get it's not put in front of you, except for that one time with Phineas and Ferb, which I think that was really good. You know, to break the fourth wall, and see the people that you loved from Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did that once with Ultimate Spider-Man too, and I was like, oh, I know those people. They keep using their actual like live action Disney show characters as voice actors.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Why not?
Drake Bell
was a voice actor.
Was Spider-Man, I think, for that.
No way.
I think that was
Ultimate Spider-Man?
Ultimate Spider-Man, yeah.
Ultimate Spider-Man.
The one where he had
Drake
to
Bell voiced someone else.
live with like 4 other of the teenage superheroes.
I remember that one.
Yeah, it was Drake Bell.
Oh my gosh,
Spider-Man.
it was Drake Bell.
Drake Bell is Spider-Man. Oh, I just kicked that over.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. I never realized. Huh. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and White Tiger was the girl who acted in that Iron Weasel show.
What?
You remember Iron Weasel?
No.
You don't remember Iron Weasel? It was a Disney XD show.
Yeah, Disney XD.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the band. She was in there.
I'm in the band.
That was the show where it was a bunch of like his dad was a heavy metal rock star, but he was normal and he was good at playing band. But that's all it was. He wanted to make his own band, but he didn't want anything connected with his dad.
Oh, I do not remember that show at all.
Me neither.
It wasn't
In the
super
band?
popular.
Was it Disney?
Yeah, Disney XD ran for 20 episodes.
XD, okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, that is what I'm talking about.
You talking about I'm in the band?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Is that what it was called? I just remembered it by Iron Weasel. Iron Weasel was
That's the name of the band.
Yeah.
Yeah, Iron Weasel.
I didn't like that show.
the... Yeah, I didn't either.
I didn't like
But
it.
I kept watching it for some reason.
I know, because I'd walk by and like that show.
Yeah.
Go away.
For as far as Disney main characters go, like the guy was like straight up helping, like being the guy that girls would cheat on their boyfriends with, and I'm like, this is Disney.
But yeah, it's live productions. But yeah, I mean that's quite a bit of voice actors.
Yeah, we just keep diving into nostalgia.
Yeah.
Nostalgia.
So much for not knowing voice actors.
Yeah, it's just funny though. I think from hearing you guys, the way you guys are talking about it, I think it's kind of like in the West, the end product is the focus.
Mm-hmm.
Like the movie that hits the screen is the focus, or the short hits the screen is the focus.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in the East, a lot of the moving parts are the focus. Like the voice themselves, that's the focus. Them, the character getting the shine. Everything about them, including who is speaking about them, that's the focus.
Yeah.
I feel like when I think about voices, whenever I hear like a sub show versus a dub show, and I think it is getting better, but it used to be where, and it still is in Japan, the voice is so important for the character. The people talk about how the way they pronounce words, if they use a different accent that we can't pick up, everything is very intricately like tied to the character. So like I feel like they're very specific when they find a person who they want this person to sound like having the actor, like you're saying, look like the person. Whereas in the West, they will more like to just choose a famous person. Like you could probably act in an actual live action movie for this character. Let's have this guy voice the character. You know, and back in the day, they didn't pay attention so much with dubbing with proper voices. You know, they just like threw people at it, and now they're getting better. But I feel like still the focus is definitely on it's not on like crafting the voice. I feel like that's secondary still.
So like maybe the goes to the past of the way it came about is kind of why things are different in the West.
I feel like that's why. Yeah.
The only other voice actors I know are from Critical Role. It's a Dungeons and Dragons group that they live stream, but they're all voice actors.
Oh.
So when they're playing as their characters, the kind of voice actor their characters, and it's fun.
I always wanted to watch them. I couldn't never get into it.
It's such a long campaign.
That's the issue.
It spanned years. So there's like hundreds of hour-long videos for these guys.
Wow.
Well, yeah.
They're rivaling One Piece.
Neil O'Brien had the best golem voice. I cannot find the clip of it. He was voicing a rock character like he was a rock golem or something, and he was voicing it. It sounded actually like rocks were talking. I cannot find it back.
Rocks were talking.
It's incredible.
Mm-hmm. I know that pain. There's so many times I'm watching lots of things at the same time. I was like, oh wow, Rose would find that hilarious. I can't wait to show her tomorrow. And I close it out and like, oh wait, I'll find it back tomorrow. Never find it.
Gone forever.
It's a piece of a video in a long series of just nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the worst.
But we have another piece of news.
On to the second topic for this podcast.
It was just a key visual. So Attack on Titan just showing off some pictures. In Sunday, they had an anime convention kind of thing in Tokyo. And they're showing off some pictures here. I'll put it up on the screen for you guys. Pretty much everybody just upside down in battle, dealing with Eren. And then this.
You don't see Eren in this one.
Yeah, he's right there.
Oh, you see?
Oh, that's his face.
Yeah.
That's Eren.
Hi.
And then they're just standing in one of
his footsteps.
Or
Or the
the
other Titan's footsteps, yeah.
the Colossals.
Can we see it bigger?
No.
Oh.
I've tried to bring it up. Yeah, you gotta get me close.
No.
But yeah, the same news as always is that it's expected to be in 2023. No firm release dates. Personally, I'm always fine with that. I don't mind.
Yeah,
taking
please
time.
just complete it properly. Please, you've been doing this for so many years.
Yep.
Don't rush the end.
Yeah.
Oh, but Isayama, who launched the original Attack on Titan, is actually attending a convention in New York City. This is November 18th. So he was there. That was pretty cool.
Cool.
Wait,
Today's the 17th.
Yeah,
But
bro.
by the time this goes out,
yes, no, you're right. Go with it.
Yeah. I mix up September and November all the time.
yeah.
But yeah, so he's going to be in New York City for an anime convention between the 18th and the 20th. So if you're interested in seeing him, that's pretty cool. We made the trip.
We're actually kind of close.
We're actually very close.
We should go. I'm just kidding. You know how expensive that might be.
Well, not just expensive. I feel like we like anime, but I don't think we like anime like that.
Yeah.
We go. I mean,
We'd probably
maybe we'd enjoy dressing up for a day, but going there.
It's like a cosplay convention thing?
Every anime convention's a cosplay.
Yeah, every animation. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like going to a superhero convention. You see people dress up as superheroes.
Okay.
It's like that.
Do we have to participate? Can we just?
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying like the atmosphere and the feel. I just don't think it's something we'd vibe with. Like you just go there, you take pictures. Occasionally, you see a talk, you ask questions. It's just
Yeah.
I don't think it's our thing.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we'd enjoy it.
Maybe in a couple years
Maybe
after we know
someday.
more animes.
But yeah, I still don't have the final release date. I was talking with you in the Discord chat about how, like, I have no issue whatsoever with somebody delaying a project and saying that, okay, we want it to come out here, but it's going to come out here or something like that. The only time Isekai Oji-san, I have no issue with them delaying whatsoever. The only time I have issues is when you say something is going to be the final and then it's not. That's why I was annoyed with Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was telling her, I remember seeing like some people were commenting. I was like, listen, man, there's no obligation from the studio to tell the fans if this is the end or not. I was like, yes, the hell there is.
Yes.
You said there's an ending.
Yeah.
And then there wasn't. I don't mind if it was a last minute thing and it wasn't planned. Like if the final episode came up as like it's not over and it was supposed to be a trick, it was a part of the experience. That's different. But when you said it's going to be a thing and then it's not, I feel like it was manipulated to make people come and want to see it. So I just don't like the idea of that. You can do whatever you want with your product, just don't lie.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if it was necessarily their intention to lie. It just my initial reaction had that person made that comment, and then I was like, if that was the case, I wouldn't be okay with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's even what they were trying to do at the time. I just don't like that argument.
Yeah.
But yeah, one more piece of news. So Amazon laid off 10,000 employees.
Oh my.
And Amazon been doing stuff.
10,000, 3% of the corporate employees.
Don't remember the figure anymore, but I think it was like either 80s or 90% of turnover for their employees.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it over 100%? I thought.
I thought it was.
Was it?
Let's see.
I could have sworn it was like over 100%.
It might be.
Unless it was somewhere else.
Let's see. Amazon's turnover rate is
150%.
150%.
Yeah.
Per year,
costing $8 billion annually.
Yeah.
That's how much they don't want to pay for being nice to their employees.
Like, don't unionize.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that crazy that you get to the point where it's more efficient to just make people miserable and quit, and you
just get a new person?
And like the corporates, everyone has to sit down and be like, yes, it's not me firing these people. It's not me saying that you have to work 19 hours. But you know your choices are making those decisions be made.
Yeah.
And you have to live with those choices and you're okay with it.
Yeah.
Like the degrees of separation allow the unfeeling things at the top to keep doing it.
Yeah.
But if they were there, they probably wouldn't dare do that. It's like, this guy has a family. He has a birthday next week, you know?
Yeah. His birthday next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll change one day. These things always change eventually, but it takes a while.
Like a little bubble to explode.
Yeah, as much as I like Amazon, like their interface wise, I don't like Amazon.
It makes me very sad because I loved Amazon when it was coming up, and it was like, yeah, great for you.
Me too.
But I think about even Walmart. Walmart didn't used to treat. I don't know if they've gotten better because they got under fire from the public because of it. They never treated their employees well. They paid them very low, like as low as possible, minimum wage, no matter what. And they basically sucked the economy out of any local area they went into. Like businesses would die because they were there. Yeah, because they wanted to take over the business because they're selling everything so cheap, no one can compete. But they're so convenient, you know. And you're like, I want to support Walmart. And then you think of the history of Walmart, the guy who made Walmart. Yeah. You think, oh wow, great dreams, you know, he did big thing. Yeah. But then the massive terror that it became, you're like, you know. So I feel like that's what's happening and has happened to Amazon, and it makes me very sad because I liked Amazon. I still want to shop there, and I feel like I like the convenience and the ability to compare different products that are super similar from different stores, but at the same time I'm like, I don't want a monopoly in my wallet, you know. Yeah,
it's that conundrum because a business, like nations are built for security, right? But then businesses, they're built for profit. Yeah. But there's no end goal. No. There's never a point at which profit is and we're good.
Yeah, we stop here.
You always need to be going forward. So it's like it keeps eating and eating and it doesn't end.
It's a snake eating its tail.
That cut out. Hopefully, just you're out for a minute or so.
Not even like a couple seconds.
Hey. But yeah, Amazon's been cracking down recently. Not just this layoffs, obviously. They raised the price of the Prime, and they also raised the price of the monthly subscription price by $2. And even Twitch, like obviously it's not official information, but a lot of big streamers are just saying how they get into meetings and they can't quite negotiate the contracts the way that they used to be able to. Like there's a squeeze from the top down. There's not a lot of information as to the why, but the time to reap is here, pretty much. And they're trying to get the money.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? They raise prices, but they're like cutting. I guess are they just feeling like loss somewhere, or they're projecting loss and they're trying to make up for it so that it doesn't look bad on their reports?
They're trying to get Bezos to space.
Let's get that.
Just get some more money.
Get him to space. It seems like they might have their hands in so many pies that it's possible for them to spring a leak. Yeah. But at the same time, they have their hands in so many pies. How can they spring a leak? Every big online service runs on Amazon's interface somehow.
Really?
AWS. Yeah. Especially stores, like online stores and stuff, their security, their cloud-based stuff, a lot of them are Amazon Web Services. So I'm like, how... We have a small monopoly that everybody's ignoring for the sake of convenience. And they're just kind of like, let me eat. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's kind of like society in general has gotten to the point where monopolies are almost necessary. Like there was a time when monopolies were very obviously bad, but people could compete and it was okay because we were not homogenized on a global level.
Yeah,
like, people were so
that's what's
localized
happening.
that it was okay if there wasn't convenience because you didn't need convenience.
Yeah.
There was no need for you to be able to connect with a guy across the world, you know?
Yeah.
Now with the internet, it's like you need everybody to be able to connect. And the only way to do that is have one guy in charge of all of that.
Yeah.
You know? But it's like, find a way to make monopolies good. But that's going to need a lot of government input and stuff like that.
It's going to need a lot of government fingers.
Which
it's going to be very messy. Bureaucracy on
hurt stuff.
And the government's going to try to like,
taxes.
Hey, taxes. Like somebody mentioned, I forget who it was. Or maybe I remember, I don't want to say. They were like, the minute Iris did the most brilliant thing to say, let's putting in withholding taxes through your job. Mm-hmm. It just basically made, the person said it made sheep out of everybody. Because before that, you know, people complain about taxes and would fight against the taxes being so high or whatever. But now it just comes out of your paycheck. You don't even see it.
Yeah.
You just see the final take home. You don't feel it. Mm-hmm. So you just forget to let it even bother. It doesn't bother you. Become a self-employed person.
Yeah.
Do your taxes, and then you'll be like, hell no. Yeah. You know, you want to complain. You want to go. What is the word?
Protest.
Not protest.
Right, your congressman.
No. Yeah. when you go and petition. Yeah,
lobby.
Lobby. That one. Go lobby your governments. Lobby your politicians. Because it's so much money. Like, kind of thinking about it in like parallel with monopolies. It's going to become painless to have this one person just do everything for you, and they're going to make it convenient so that it's not painful. And people are just going to become sheep. There's going to be like, you know, what is like they're basically not what is like, what is this?
Dozo?
Yeah, but they're
Fluffy.
not suppressed.
Bouncy.
No. Suppressed when you oppressed. Oppressed. Yeah, oppressed people that don't feel oppressed. Basically, they're inspiring.
Oh yeah. No.
We're not financial advisors. This is not financial advice.
But hey, I mean, we're moving into the opinion section anyway. So right before we get to Rose Rants, I wanted do you have an opinion on how significant having the notebook has been for you with watching anime?
Oh yeah.
Like
100%.
Because for a moment there, we very nearly didn't even use notebooks.
No.
Yeah.
Because we had trouble even finding someone. Just like an idea, like let's use some notebooks.
Jot it down a little bit.
Can't find it. Oh, we have 3 same size.
I didn't even know how to write notes in the beginning. I kept forgetting to write things down.
Yeah. I remember like the show would end and you'd write one thing. And that was like the first scene of the show.
Yes. Every now and then, like I still fall into that where especially if it's a new show, like that happened with Honey the Eagle when we just started. I forgot to write things down because I was like getting like to know the show. So I forgot to think about what I'm seeing and write it down. But yeah, I think notebooks, big plus for making us have proper discussions.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we'd forget so much because so much happens in a lot of the shows. Like they go fast paced. They throw in a little scene here. Like, oh my gosh, that's significant.
Yeah.
Jot it down. Otherwise, we forget it.
I think that it's also super significant because that it has made discussions be the main part of our reactions.
Yeah.
And I don't think we would have been able to remember enough to have a good beefy discussion if we didn't write stuff down. We're not that memoryful. Yeah, we're not memoryful. Like it just happened. You're talking about a scene. I'm like, that happened. And then I look at my notes. I'm like, it did happen.
Yeah, and you know when you've got hundreds of people watching, I've never complained about it. I don't think it's an issue. But when you've got hundreds of people watching and they all individually have their own individual memories, like it's gonna seem like the comments just flooded with things that you all forgot, but they didn't remember everything either. No, they probably forgot parts of the show too. Yeah. You know, so it's just having that little thing there to remind you is so important. Yeah, especially. There's sometimes I'll be watching an episode, and like when we're watching ReZero, I will remember an episode, and I not only do I remember the episode, it's a very intense episode, so the things that happen, you remember them. But even then, I'll be like, all right, I won't write anything down. I remember it, right? And by the time discussion comes around, you guys will be listing off stuff you wrote down. And it's like, oh yeah. Well, yeah, we can talk about that. not just stuff that you should talk about. There's a lot of stuff you can talk about that's something to become the focus of the episode. And that is way more deep than you even thought about in the moment.
Yeah, like really tiny details. Like a character might like do something, like pick up a
seemingly insignificant
a sketchbook in the kitchen, look at the sketchbook, and then walk away. But then later we learn that sketchbook had a picture of the cat that he grew up with that died, and then what made him become a villain. So we know that him looking at this sketchbook, and now we can analyze his facial expression when he looked at it. And we're like, oh my gosh.
Yes, definitely. And I glance the comments every now and then, and there are people who appreciate that. I think they're like, I like every now and then I see people who's like, wow, you guys write things down, that's so great. And then there are people who are like, I can't believe you caught that, you know?
It's because we wrote it down.
It's because we wrote it down. Like, we don't remember that. You know? It makes us seem so brilliant, but no, we can write.
I think people catch that, but then by the end of, so much stuff happens by the end of the episode.
All forget.
You don't remember to talk about it.
No.
Yeah.
And I also think, at least for me, it helps me keep track going forward. Like if I write down even like the little things, okay, that happened, I'll remember it better for the next episode to like connect the dots. So it helps to even follow the story. Like I know I wouldn't, if I was just watching an anime for fun, I probably wouldn't write anything down, but it adds to the enjoyment of it, because you're like, wait a minute, I remember, I did catch that thing. Yeah.
I like studying, writing things down.
Exactly. It keeps it in your head,
And obviously there's, it's not perfect. We've learned as we've gone along. I think all of our note-taking styles have changed as time's gone on. If I had a complaint, I wish we could, like, I don't do it myself, but I wish we could all find a way to like write without looking.
Yes. Oh my, no, I'm practicing. I just have
too.
Because I feel the bottom of the page if I can, and so I know I'm going straight across. But I, especially like when we're doing podcasts, because I want to jot things down so that you need to put on the screen or whatever. So I'll look where I'm starting, and then I'll look back at you guys, because I hate to see myself looking down while we're talking. I feel like I'm not paying attention to you, but I am listening. So I am practicing that.
It's the weirdest thing to look into the camera though, because sometimes I feel like I should be looking at the camera.
Because we're looking at you guys.
But when I'm editing and I'm looking into the camera, it feels weird.
like you're looking into yourself.
I shouldn't be looking into the camera. Like I know, I get that vibe. But it's better than looking down at least.
That's true.
But it's very much less than we get the positives writing them down. But sometimes we got complaints of like you look down at really good moments or stuff like that. And that does happen. Like in the editing, sometimes I'll see that, and sometimes I'll just have to cut the whole scene because I feel like it just breaks the flow. But
I've noticed that.
But it's not the worst thing in the world, but I do wish we got better at it, and I do think we have gotten better at it overall. So it is something that's changing as time goes on.
It's only something that I notice when I'm like maybe 3 significant things happen.
You have to jot them down.
Like, and I start writing one down, and it's taking a while, and I start my second one. I'm like, I've been looking down for a while. I don't know what's happening in this book. So then I start writing like without looking, and then I have to look back down. It's like, did I write that right?
But the long-term memory is the tricky one, because even with the shows that are on the channel, so it's in with relatively close time frame, there have been some times that we've all forgotten something significant despite writing things down. And the thing is, that's the thing I hate the most, because I know what it's like to be watching a reactor and you think they're following, and then all of a sudden out of left field they don't refer to something they were talking about last episode or something like that. So it's something for me, I always try to, that's why sometimes I'm just quiet in really significant scenes, because I'm trying to remember, is there more to this? I think this was connected to something else. And that happened with the Mob Psycho, where I was very silent on when Tanikawa came back. Tanikawa, that guy, the telepath.
Yeah, that guy.
When he came back, a part of me was like, I think we saw him before, and I know they all know that Mob's a psychic. Or I think I know they all know there's a psychic. And then the next scene, they're like, Mob, can you use your powers to help? So they did know he was a psychic. But my initial reaction was to say, wait, they know he's a psychic?
Yeah.
And I think I made a small comment about that later on in regards to Tomei. So because of things like that, I don't want to make those comments, and I end up looking very silent throughout those scenes. But it's just because I don't want to be that guy that I remember watching years ago of all these reactors who are just forgetting things that they should know, But then also time passes.
Yeah, time passes and humans are humans.
Yeah, it's been like years since I last watched.
I feel like
season 2,
and I feel like we would have to. People have to forgive us for Mob. They didn't watch us watch 1 and 2. You know, so I think they would have to be like, oh yeah, this happened in way back when in season 1. But if it's something else, if like we've been watching a series from season 1 through season 5, and then wait, because to them it was just like 5 minutes ago. You remembered that in season 1, like 5 minutes ago. I just saw you. You know that. Yeah. And then we're watching it now. And it's a little harder for people to grasp.
Over the course of 5 years and 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or even the thing like My Hero, which we did watch on the channel, but we didn't remember the whole Black Whip saga.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Like
that was really big.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like people were commenting like, I don't blame them because it was a time skip, but they also did 3 episodes and they also didn't explain that it was a time skip and stuff like that. But then you have to keep in mind, sometimes you're just really into a fandom more than other people are. Like you'll see a guy comment, his name is Deku #1 fan. He's got a profile picture of everybody, and every single comment he comments on every single Reactor video across YouTube. It's like, no, you remember something that we didn't know. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you have to keep that self-awareness of most people wouldn't remember some things, But yeah, we are working on it. We all try to remember these things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of critiques.
Yeah.
Things that we can work on. So 1, we want to learn to write while not looking.
Yeah.
Number 2 is I don't know how to remember better. Anyways, number 3, we got an interesting comment. I don't know if you want to talk about it. You can cut this out if you don't want to talk about it. We just got a comment that I glanced on the dashboard, and so I went to look at it. Was somebody was complaining that what were they complaining about? Do you remember?
I'm trying to remember.
They were complaining.
Yeah. They wanted us to pause the video.
Ah, yes.
Oh.
Yes. They wanted us to pause because we are missing important things.
Yeah.
And we talk too much.
Yeah.
Yes, we talk too
because we talk
while over
things are happening.
And we need to pause because we keep talking over things and missing things. Personally, I'm like, because I'm not good at like multitasking, I'm trying to read what's happening and follow, but then you guys are like commenting, but you're commenting because it's a significant thing that just happened, but they're still going, so it's like trying to react. It's like, wait a minute, what just happened, while still continuing to watch. And it's like, I can't stop talking, I can't say what they're saying because I'm trying to listen and read. So there have been moments like that, but I feel like that comes with the territory because we are reactors, we are reactors, it's our job, it's in the job description. So it's kind of hard to, and then with the comment for the pausing, you already talked about. You can comment on that.
Yeah. So it's like it's a mixed bag where they were saying a bunch of things, but I feel like they were trying to get to a core issue. So they're trying to like talk around it to get to it. And I think their main thing was like the interjections that we make. A lot of the time is kind of like oohs and ahs. And if you watch somebody like RTTV is I think the best at this, where they have a lot of wow and they're very excited when they watch things, but they also, when they yell, a lot of the time they're saying their feelings on a situation. So it's like when we interject, a lot of time we're not saying our feelings on a situation. It's usually just oh that's cool or something like that, not really substance to the things that we're saying. So that's why they were saying pause the video and then say how you feel, because I think they were trying to get at we weren't saying things of substance.
Okay.
I think that's what the core issue was with everything they were saying. And the reason I didn't agree with them was because, while yes, I to an extent I do agree with. I do hope that we all kind of had better interjections like that. Like for instance, myself, I very morose a lot of the times in the videos, and that's because I'm trying to think of things to say for scenes, and usually I don't react. But when I do, it's usually pretty big. So I'm kind of like the opposites, where like you have a lot of very powerful interjections in terms of emotion, but only on occasion you'll say like a long line sentence of how you feel about a scene, so stuff like that. So we're still kind of in between there, but I didn't agree with him. We've had at this point we're nearing on, I want to say like 700 videos or something like that. And only like 4 times have I ever seen a comment of somebody saying that either we talk too much or laugh too much or the interjections don't mean much. So if it was a problem, it would be talked about more. You know, I mean, and there is something to be said about growth. Like it could be that you could grow more if you did something in this direction. So it's something I paid attention to, but I have brought it up before where I've talked about how, hey, can we say more meaningful things when we're watching the screen or something like that? But then you also have to keep in mind the type of people we are.
Yeah.
Where, like, I know, like, you're not someone who's used to watching anime, for instance, right? So it's hard for you to be reading things that are going on screen and speaking to you.
Yeah.
You know?
What's funny? I see it on the videos. She'll like react, and it's like she wants to say something, but she's busy reading.
Yes.
So she's like.
That's what I was gonna say.
Halfway.
That's what I was gonna say. I find it very hard. Like, I've had like moments of like brain freeze, literal freeze. Like, I want to say words, but it's like, no, I can't miss the next thing. Yeah. And it's like I can't make myself do two things at the same time. Your
processing power is busy.
It's busy.
You need more RAM.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do find it very hard. Like, when I do make a comment, it's usually when they take a breather.
Yeah.
And the scene changes. Like, you know that blah, 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 right? Like, remember, I forget, we were rewatching some episodes for Hunter. Mm-hmm. Was it Hunter? And I wanted to, point something out that's like, wait, no, remember this. Mm-hmm. And it's like, no, we're going to miss what they're saying. It's like, we've seen this. And it's like, oh, yeah.
Oh, that's Code Geass, but yeah.
Code Geass, right. Yeah. But it's just that feeling of, I think it comes from the fact that I have FOMO in general. So I don't want to miss what's happening, but then I do want to say what I'm feeling or what I think. Mm-hmm. And I want to put it across to you, but sometimes I'm like, let me say it as fast as I can, and then I don't say anything.
Yeah. But I mean, and that's okay. Because people are enjoying the videos, even though the views aren't like I won't be happy till I see like 100,000 views on every video. Yeah, that's just what I want. Yeah. But at the same time, the people who are here, they comment, they enjoy what they're seeing, they like what they're seeing, and you don't go to every channel to get the exact same experience. Yeah. Like, I go to Blind Wave when I want to watch them talk about an episode and the meanings behind the characters in depth, because not only are they very into the production quality, like especially like Eric, he's really into the production quality of stuff, but he can talk a very long, convincing game of the qualities of the show. But if I want to just see a more relaxed take on that kind of thing, not saying they're like amateurs, but I'll go to the normies and they'll have an in-depth discussion as well, but they won't get into the nitty-gritty of production as much. Or if I just want to watch somebody like really yell and get into heated arguments over what character is better than the other, I watch RTTV. Yeah. Every single reaction, they are arguing over something. Every single one of them. And it's great. And you'll always have Rob be the contrarian for some reason, and he'll defend his dying breath the lamest character and say he'll somehow like suplex the best character in the show. And that's what I go to them for. Yeah. So then when I look at our channel and I'm like, it's not quite what I want it to do, or I quite react the way I want us to react, or I'm not reacting the way I want myself to be reacting, it's like at the same time people are coming, people are enjoying. That's a product you can't get anywhere else. Yeah. You know? But yeah. That took up a lot of time though, so I think we're gonna have to actually end on the Rose rants. Okay. Yeah, so I know you've been watching a couple shows.
I just finished watching Bucchigire, the Shine On Bakumatsu Bad Boys. Oh, yeah. That show. Yeah.
Finished. Wait, ended or just a season?
It ended. I'm pretty sure. Like samurai ninjas. They're like samurai Power Rangers, basically. I watched the end of it, and it was one of those shows where I've definitely thought it was gonna end on the power of friendship change the antagonist type of thing. It did not, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Oh, pleasantly.
I was pleasantly surprised by the ending. Bittersweet, and you usually don't get bittersweet ending from these, like what I'd call stock anime. Yeah. You know what I mean? I know what you mean. The kind of feeling isn't like, it doesn't feel like somebody put like a lot of thought into like the storyline and the lore of the world. It's just like they take an idea and let's place it in, just put it in place. You know what I mean?
You know what makes me think that it could just be an amateur writer that just isn't strong in like development of world, but they really wanted to tell a story and somebody picked them up. And then they're like, I'm going to try a thing. Bittersweet end. Be different. Because that sounds like something I would do. Like, I have no like idea what I'm doing, but I just want to try this thing. And then like, I want to be different at the end. I'm gonna not make it be the power of friendship. And then it's a perfect 10. Chef's kiss.
Yeah. I have no clue. I don't know who made it. There are two different types of watchers: the people who watch the end credits and the people who watch the end credits scene. I am the latter. I just watch the end credits scene. I don't know who made anything. But it ended pleasantly.
It's bittersweet.
But it's bittersweet, but also it's like, how did we get here? It ended with like a pentagram. I'm like, what's going on? Summoning the devil here. How did we get here? But I guess, we were like harvesting souls towards the beginning, so I should have seen this coming. But anyway, it ended. It wasn't bad. It was a decent anime. It's a good filler anime for when you're waiting for better shows like to come back, like Demon Slayer. But I don't. It might have a season 2, and if people like it enough, I guess. But I don't see where they're gonna go from here.
Okay.
Have you heard of the Shinsengumi?
Yeah, I know the organization. Is that an anime?
No, that's what they are.
Oh yeah.
They are criminals who are substitutes for the Shinsengumi who got killed off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you told us about that.
Yeah, he's not a little kid, but
he looks like a little kid.
He looks like a little kid, and all he does is cry from his one blind eye. That's his main thing. I don't know why.
Ew.
Ew. But yeah, it ended well. B.
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 B. That sounds generous.
Yeah,
being honest.
for a filler.
What's the ending that saved it?
Is it a relative B, like for a filler B, or for an anime B? Relative or absolute?
Filler B, I think. I think it's a filler.
That makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be an A B, something like Zodiac War, maybe.
Akudama Drive.
Akudama Drive.
I think I'm saying that right. That was such a good show.
You watched the whole thing?
I watched the whole thing.
It's been on our poll a couple times.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I think you'd enjoy it too. It's. Have I told you the premise of this already?
Akudama Drive. No.
There's like most wanted list, and then there's the Akudama list. So they're all like highly world's most wanted people kill on sight, basically.
Okay.
And this girl ends up getting roped into this thing that they're all doing, and she has to pretend that she's one of them because she just kind of got herself into a situation, basically.
Okay.
And that's how the story progresses, and you find out why they're all called together to finish this job, and then the end is incredible. We need to watch it because I want to talk about it. But yeah, it's really good.
We might one day because
maybe it could be our choice. Could be our choice show.
It's really good.
I think she's up next for. Well, I guess she has to be up next for the pick because I picked last show and you don't watch anime, so she's like.
It's just you guys.
Yeah.
Dang it! I should have put Mob Psycho. Well, it's too bad it came out.
Okay, but yeah, that's it from me. Oh, see, Spy Family is back.
Yeah.
Spy Family. I'm caught up. I think it's 7 episodes out right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm once again like, I really enjoy this show. I really love this show, but it was a good decision not to make it a react show because there's nothing to react to. There's nothing to discuss.
Cells at work.
Cells at work.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so enjoyable. Oh my gosh, I love that show.
You didn't like Cells at work?
No, I like Cells at work.
More
it's
enjoyable.
Yeah, it's more enjoyable than Cells at Work, I would say.
That's fair. Yeah, that would be a good segue to lead into the next question, but we just don't have time.
Oh no!
So next week, you guys can answer some questions on pretty much least favorite anime you've ever watched. So that's just a little spoiler there so that you can ruminate on it. But yeah, so guys, if you like this time here, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Remember, you can check that Patreon out if you want to see these out as soon as they're made, at least a Saturday right after they're made. You can send a question down there in the comments, and usually we'll read that on the podcast. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time in City. Goodbye.
Bye!